We're less than 3 weeks away from the critical midterm elections, and we wanted to check in with voters in battleground states to see what's on the top of their minds. So we assembled a group of Republicans and Democrats from Michigan, Arizona, Pennsylvania, and Nevada. As you'll see, these voters do not fall within neat party lines. In fact, some plan to vote for the opposing candidate because they think their own party's candidate is too extreme. Here now, our pulse of the people. In a couple of sentences, if you could tell me what you think the top issue in the country is right now.
Well, for me, one of the top issues is school security. I have two daughters who are in school right now, and that is a big focus of mine. Being a former captain in the United States Army, it's very prevalent for me to make sure that my daughters are safe because that's what I fought for.
As a college student in Philadelphia, in an area where COVID crime has risen substantially, I'm especially concerned about being able to feel safe on campus, being able to go from class to class.
What kinds of crimes are you seeing more of?
So a lot more robberies with weapons on campus. We get the text alerts every single time it occurs. And across the city of Philadelphia,
we're having a lot of people that are desperate in the economy. And I see that when a lot of this petty crime is coming out, people are breaking into stores, they're assaulting people. I open carry, I conceal carry in a grocery store, not because I hate people, it's because I love my children and I want to protect myself and my kids.
Show of hands, how many of you will on some level be voting on crime or feel that crime is a big issue in your life? Okay, so 3 of you feel that crime is a big issue, and you all happen to be the 3 Republicans on our panel. And so my question for the 3 Democrats who didn't raise their hand for crime being one of their top issues, why not?
So living in Nevada, I was in a role that I was leading part of the crisis response for the October 1st massacre that happened in Las Vegas, which is still the largest casualty mass shooting that we've had in the country. I'm also a Democrat. I'm also a gun owner. So there's aspects to, again, this definition of crime is a much bigger picture. There's a lot of subtopics and issues that fall under crime, I think, that we look at.
One of the issues of why there's increased crime is we have such an incredible access to weaponry. A few years ago, I was involved with a shooting at a big box retailer, and we could hear gunshots, we could hear people moaning. We had no idea if one of our fellow coworkers was down. And once we were cleared by police, we actually had to walk through the victim's blood on the floor. I mean, it was just a traumatic experience. It's something that is permeating at every grocery store, movie theater. So many private and public aspects of our life are affected by violence. And I think that's really the issue, is what's going on with our society and how can we have a real conversation about being safe.
That's what I was going to say, Amy. We're on the same page with that. Until we have people who are willing to come to the table and have credible solutions on this issue, I don't think we'll go very far.
Let's talk about the economy. Show of hands, how many of you think that the economy is what most people will be voting on in the midterms? 2 of you. Okay. So, Lydia, give me your thoughts.
Well, I see it every day. I look at my bank account, I see what's in my wallet, and it affects me every single day. When I'm having to make decisions on, if I'm going to buy milk or eggs, and seeing the gas prices here in Nevada are skyrocketing, and there's no reason. We're having the Biden administration and a Federal Reserve that are just pumping money into the system, and it's just causing inflation.
On college campuses everywhere, but particularly my own, you can see the anxiety brewing over economic decisions that students have to make every day, buying textbooks, paying for college, rent and off-campus apartments, etc.
If we're actually talking about the high cost of education, the fact that wages are stagnant compared to where they were decades ago, the fact that we're having difficulty with healthcare expenses and high deductibles and can't afford medications, these are the issues the Democratic candidates are talking about.
Let's talk about abortion. How many of you, show of hands, think that abortion will be a top issue during these midterms? Okay, so 4 of you.
I will tell you, as a male, I do not believe it is my place, nor should it be any male's place, to tell a female what she can and cannot do with her body. I have friends who have been raped. I have friends who have been abused. And I think what frustrates me even more is we sit and we listen to Supreme Court nominees who go through the confirmation process, who say things such as Roe versus Wade has been codified.
Well, Greg, you need to be the spokesperson for women's rights, because you're exactly right. A woman should have the right to do as she will with her own body, just like men do. And you don't see a group of women trying to create laws that would prevent men from getting vasectomies or doing whatever it is they choose to do with their bodies.
Abortion just simply isn't a hot topic here in Nevada. It's not on the ballot. Right here in Nevada, you can have an abortion up to 24 weeks. So it really doesn't, it's a really huge Democratic talking point. Abortions are being used as birth control. That's not okay.
Do we even have the right to presume why a woman may need an abortion? Maybe it's rape or incest. Maybe it's actually that she's developed cancer. I was very late along in a pregnancy with my young daughter and found that I had abnormal cells. And thank God I was able to make it through that pregnancy, and that procedure was able to take place after I was able to successfully deliver. It's really a private matter and a medical decision that should only be happening with a doctor, and the federal government or a politician is the last person on earth I would ever want in that room with me making that decision.
Chloe, I mean, as a Gen Z college student, I'm interested in your position on this.
So the abortion component is why I am not voting for Mastriano, because he has made it his #1 issue.
And Chloe, just to be clear, you're in Pennsylvania, you consider yourself a Republican, but you're not going to vote for the Republican candidate, Mastriano, for governor.
No, and frankly, it's really discouraging that he's made ending and restricting abortion his #1 issue. The way that he describes it seems as if it is a siege on women. I would like to think that that's not the national dialogue, but Mastriano's rhetoric and the way that he's approaching it is really problematic for Republicans and Democrats alike. And I would like to see more moderate Republicans who have solutions that do respect a woman's bodily autonomy, but also the life of the fetus. And Mastriano just isn't that.
Raquel, you're from Georgia. What do you think the Herschel Walker abortion claims, what do you think that's doing to the race, and does that matter to you?
Herschel Walker. I'm going to sigh on that one for a second. I don't agree with pretty much anything that he says. He is a man who has shown extensively that he has done some extraordinary, ruthless things to his family members and to especially like his ex-wife, and choking her until she passed out. I mean, he's a violent man.
So though you're a Republican, you would vote for Raphael Warnock, his opponent, who's a Democrat?
Probably so. I'm just so overwhelmed by what he has done that it just really bothers me that he has the nerve and audacity to even be on this ballot. I said it.